welcome to Quintessential Comics, episode 15, book club edition.
Surreal book club.
Yeah, Surrealist superheroes. So we got that coming up. If you haven't read the books, read them or just watch the show. You'll get a little bit of spoilers, but the books will still be good. This episode, we got news, upcoming events in Toronto, new releases, and a really sweet book club panel. It's lots of fun. So you're in for a treat. Stay tuned, and thanks for tuning in to Quintessential Comics. Welcome to Book Club Surrealist Edition.
Woo!
Woo-hoo! Whoops, sorry about that. Today we have recommendations from Aaron. Thanks so much for recommending these Surrealist superheroes books.
My pleasure.
We got Doom Patrol Volume 2, The Painting That Ate Paris. You can read the first volume, but we're just talking about the second one. It's not. And Umbrella Academy Volume 1, Apocalypse Suite, and 2, Dallas. So thanks so much for recommending those books. Let's get started with introductions. Aaron, you can go first.
All right, hi, my name's Aaron. I'm a comic book writer, filmmaker, and friend of Alice.
Hi, I'm Dave. I'm the usual cameraman / sort of director. Occasionally also edit, and regular book club guy.
I'm Alice. Hi.
I'm Matt. Hi.
Hi, my name's John. I'm friends of Dave and Matt, and
Friends of all of us, to be.
hopefully.
Wait, you don't like me? You want to fight?
No,
Wanna go?
no, I
right
said
here.
hopefully.
Right now, let's go.
Sorry.
Until we start arguing
Sorry.
about comic books.
Yeah.
And
I am sure all of my opinions on comics are more well informed than yours.
oh,
That was fighting words.
Well then.
I'm kidding.
I figure we should start with Umbrella Academy because we don't have it here. So let's bring that up first. So what do you guys think about Umbrella Academy? You guys like it?
Yeah, had some very fun moments in it. I like Gabriel Ba's artwork in it. I'm used to him having a very lively style, and this was definitely another example of that. Very animated looking pages. A lot of fun there.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was again really like clever stuff put in there, like some of those smaller kind of things that you may not notice necessarily on a first read or whatever, but like it was just really fun. Like I think I laughed at some points, which was good because I don't often laugh.
I thought it was enjoyable. I wasn't as big a fan of it as I expected to be, but it had some great moments. Some good characters, some that I found less realized, but all in all, a decent book.
I really enjoyed it. I think I would have enjoyed it more if there was more story. With just the two, it kind of feels very incomplete. But if there was, if this was 2 parts of a longer story, I think I'd totally be on board.
It is an ongoing thing, though. Like,
Yeah.
It's not like it doesn't have an ongoing title yet.
Yeah, I looked it up after reading it. They were announced that they were going to have the 3rd series in 2009, and then nothing since then. So I think it would have been a little easier to go, okay, well, this is part 2 of the story as opposed to this is all we have right now.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I found some of it was confusing. It's, because of the theme you would expect surrealist superheroes. It's going to be a little confusing. But I really liked the art. I really liked the characters, though agreed some of them were very...
Seance did nothing for me.
I really liked Seance. I thought he was really cool, but I felt like some of the other characters weren't as focused upon, and I didn't really know much about them.
I thought Seance and Rumor kind of both fit into that. I really didn't know anything about them. Like, they have kind of a lot more backstory for everyone else than they do for them. I just didn't...
I get what you're saying about Rumor, but the way that Seance reacted and, dealt with himself in Dallas, I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I thought he didn't have much of a character in the first one, but he does get fleshed out a lot in the second. Rumor, more so, but the person for me was number 2, Kraken,
Yeah.
who the first time I had read it, because I read it when it originally came out, I thought his character had more personality than when I reread it, and I realized it was just sort of he was sort of being filled in by all these cliches that you sort of know.
Yeah, he was sort of that
yeah.
that brooding badass character.
He's that
The Wolverine.
rough secondary.
Yeah, so he's Wolverine to
Yeah.
Space Boy's Scott Summers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Monkey Scott Summers.
Yeah, that's the thing. One thing I'll say
Monkey
with
Cyclops.
Seance is he was dark, but he was fun. Whereas Space Boy, often brooding in his own right, at times childishly self-absorbed. His sister's talking about being a divorcee with a real life away from all of their superhero business, and he just wants to shut her up right away because he's a human head grafted to an ape body. Basically. And that I thought was a very interesting character moment for him from the start. He doesn't really seem to have much concern for what it takes to really encourage people to be a part of a group. You know, it's just a matter of
He just wants to swoop in and save the day.
and make sure everyone else can do that with him.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't really care at all about whether they feel a part of anything. And it's only at the very end of the first volume that he makes any real gesture of sort of at least inviting Kraken into the
yeah.
fold.
Yeah.
So I mean that was definitely a step forward, I thought.
I thought it was really interesting how the author started Space Boy in the second trade. Now that he's saved the world, what he has sort of left, because it just starts with him overweight, watching television, eating cookies. So I thought it was,
Where do you go from there?
Yeah,
Save
Like,
the
where,
world.
yeah.
yeah.
We're really gonna go from
Go-
there.
go
Other than
take a
saving the
macrame
galaxy,
class.
he could save the galaxy.
Of course, you also have to like get back into shape. And,
Yeah.
do they, just out of curiosity, is that like a thing that's common in certain superhero comics? A person has to get back into shape, but they like overexert themselves right at the start, like in real
I'm pretty
life?
sure that's
When-
happened in a Flash a
not
couple
when
times.
Not when you're fighting people in real life. I mean, just like you try to exercise. you overdo
In
it.
most comics, when like a superhero character has that brooding moment, you never see them get really obese. They just
Yeah.
kind of grow a beard, but they're still jacked.
Well, they gotta keep in motion.
Yeah, it's like Wolverine when he's like not fighting crime. He's like chopping wood in Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like
When he
making
has
his own
his
fire.
breakdown of the week.
Yeah, he's
He
like
accidentally kills someone and
Yeah,
broods
he
for a
goes,
while.
goes to the woods for a few
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
God, Logan, do you think your healing powers would act on your emotions?
He
as
has
well?
emotional healing powers because he goes through that like every so often and just bounces right back.
And we all-
I killed 5 of my kids. I'm good.
And we all know Scott Summers doesn't heal as fast as Logan.
It's true. Oh God.
he's a pussy. What? I didn't say that.
Hey, Cyclops is awesome.
I also want to say how
Cyclops.
much.
What are you,
I-
Japan?
Team Cyclops.
I'm actually Team Cyclops too.
Thank
Even though Wolverine the X-Men is a better book
It
right
is
now.
totally.
But
All right, we're way off
yeah,
topic.
I want to say how much I loved Hazel and Cha-Cha. I didn't.
Oh my God, they're the best.
I had read it before, but I still laughed so much at the "we use canned apples" line, and when they're just like, "What the hell is he talking about?" Do you remember when they go to the diner and the guy's like?
Got it.
They're like, "This pie's amazing. How did you do this?" And then the
Like secret
chef-
recipe.
Yeah.
And then they're like about to kill him. And they're just like, it's canned apples. God, don't kill us. They're really funny. Instantly when I read that, I'm like, I really want to cosplay these characters like right now.
The design is really surreal and cool. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of that in this, but I really just enjoyed them. It was a shame they're only in about 3 issues.
Yeah.
But there's wacky time travel crap in that. I'm sure they
Yeah,
can
they could come back.
When did
It's
you?
not like you can ever really kill off a comic book character.
Yeah, no, killing
There's
off
always
a comic
something
book
to do.
character is impossible unless it's a woman. In which case, they can totally do it because I mean, women in refrigerators, right?
Great site.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that actually. You brought that up.
They do still come back though.
I was thinking because the
They
Usually-
one,
still don't get good deaths though.
They,
like,
they
come
become
on.
a manifestation of Kyle Rayner's ring or something, and he feels like that.
the one character in Umbrella Academy who gets depowered is the rumor, who is a woman. So
Also,
that's
the
interesting.
white violin,
The white
who is
violin, yeah.
is a woman too.
Yeah.
And mental. I'm kind of want the horror to be there. Like they keep they have.
I
him
think
in,
he's
they have
got a
him at the beginning.
story. Like I think Gerard Way has a story for him. But again, we just have these 2 things to go on for the
Yeah.
past 4 years. Or
There's
something.
also in the volumes themselves, there's like the mini comic that they put in Free Comic Book Day, and like another mini comic I guess maybe was in the next Free Comic Book Day or in something else. So those are like little nice one-off stories that I felt like fleshed out the characters for. But I agree with you so much. The characters aren't fleshed out enough, and we don't see enough of them. And another thing that makes it really confusing is each of them have like 3 names. They have their numbers. They have their superhero names, and then they have their names that mom gave them that like sort of match their personalities. So and like sometimes when they're talking about them, I'm like, who's number 2?
There were some points where I had to like flip back to the beginning where it has that little roster and be like, who the crap was Agnes again, right? But yeah, it's an alright book. I liked it.
I like the idea. I like the way that they have this. They're adopted, so they're not really a family, but they have this whole ingrained family togetherness that either they're trying to stay with or run away from. And I like how that's like a theme that goes throughout the books.
Oh yeah.
There was a moment that I can't quite tell whether it was a matter of running away from that or trying to maintain that kind of bond where, and this kind of made me uncomfortable as I was reading it, when is it the Rumors talking to Space Boy and tells him that she heard a rumor that he wanted to kiss her since he was 8, and it's like, oh, incest moment, but maybe not, because
that was a really weird moment.
But it also felt like Kraken had a huge thing for number 7 too.
Yeah.
So, and I guess like they were raised together.
Which one was number 7?
White Violin.
White Violin.
Yeah. The other girl. Yeah.
But of course mentioned by her other name, their given name. I figure maybe it's just because they both felt so out of place, maybe in a way. Good Lord, that guy who put the group together and invented all those music machines is utterly responsible for everything that's wrong with the White Violin. Why is he, if he doesn't even think she has powers, why is he raising her in an environment where she's just going to grow up with a raging inferiority complex? He has money. The man is loaded. Put him just do the right thing. Put her in a school somewhere where she can develop her musical skills.
Well, he ends up doing that in the end of Dallas. There's a mini story about a punk rock band that Kraken and the White Violin and an ape are in. All these apes act as humans, and I'm just like, okay, I guess that's the Surrealist bit. And then at the end, they're like, your band sucks. We're sending you to musical school in France. And
I guess it means he should have done that right along.
There are just a ton of talking monkeys in comics. Like, I can name 7 off the top of my head right now, I'm pretty sure.
Like the monkey that killed Kennedy in the film.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that. Like, I can think of like 4
Detective
off
Chimp,
that's too much.
Congorilla.
The Weeping Gorilla.
Gorilla Grodd.
Weeping Gorilla.
Yeah,
Gorilla Grodd.
there are so many talking. Gorilla Man from Atlas. Man,
Comics industry. What's
Okay,
up with
well,
monkeys?
you
What's up
can
with the
Consider
monkeys,
endearing,
people?
except for the one from the film. It was awful, but fun.
Yeah.
you should write a post about that and put it up on
I will.
Comics.
I'll just-
Monkeys in comics.
Monkeys in
Well,
comics.
there's something kind
what
of
the hell,
I thought,
people?
there was a little throwaway line that I thought explained why there are monkeys in this world. They're just talking about all the things that Professor Hargreaves, their mentor, did to improve the world. He has his Choco Bites or whatever cereal, but he had the teleporter, the televator, and also they said breakthroughs in chimp or monkey cognitive abilities. So I just assumed he did that, and so then they were just like citizens now because they were all human.
That's really
or not
cool.
human, but
Well, they're apes. We keep saying monkeys.
That's
Yeah.
That's an
I just
offensive
think there's
term.
definitely...
Sorry, monkey. Sorry,
I think this
apes.
is-
We
Gorilla
meant to say
Grodd's gonna
monkey.
come
I
eat
think
our
there's a
brains for
mini
being
story to
racist.
be told about some Senate subcommittee hearing to deal with this utterly mad scientist who is creating this whole new subsection of society on a
He
whim.
probably is technically like a citizen in Switzerland, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants
That's
and not have to
true.
answer to anybody.
Speaking of talking monkeys, Monsieur Malat.
yeah. Should we get into that?
Yeah, it's a good segment.
Yeah, well, there's that. Also, if you read the volume edition of Umbrella Academy, Grant Morrison did the introduction.
Oh, cool.
And I really enjoyed the introductions and the afterwards in both volume 1 and 2 of Umbrella Academy. They've got some good extras in there.
I had read, like, before he started doing Umbrella Academy, that Gerard Way was a huge fan of the Grant Morrison's Doom
He
Patrol.
cited him as an influence.
Actually, there's a reference in the first in the Apocalypse suite. The fight with the Terminauts takes place in Morrison Park.
Yes,
I'm assuming that's
cool.
that's
That's totally it. But yeah, let's move right into Doom Patrol. Oh my god, this was so. Okay, wait. We didn't say if we would recommend it or not. We would recommend it.
Should we do that at the end?
I guess so.
We could do like a little comparison between the two.
We can do that at the end.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We can do star ratings. We should bring that back.
Thumbs up and down. Like,
Thumbs up and down. Well,
My-
they're both good comics.
Yeah.
Thumbs up and down is like that's
It's like,
can I do an angle?
Extra thumb.
Like
a 45-degree thumb up.
45-degree thumb up for Umbrella Academy.
But Michael Ryan on T.Comics developed this system where you 2 or something out of 5 T dots, and he made these like T dot logos, and I'm like, that's so cheesy. Please take that down. Please take that down.
We should do T dots.
I can't believe I brought
Or
it up.
just stars.
Stars. All
Stars are
right.
good.
Well, that'll take place later. Let's
So,
talk about Doom Patrol because it's awesome.
Painting that 8 Paris, yo.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh my god.
It didn't strike me. It's been a long time since I've read Doom Patrol. It's one of my favorite comics, if not my favorite comic.
Yeah. And
But there's so much more than just the painting of Egg Paris in that. Like I completely spaced. I was like, yeah, the Dada thing. Oh wait, there's like 8 stories in this.
yeah, it's a dent. Like it's 9 issues in here, but there's a lot of story.
They like per panel. There's
Yeah.
a ton of writing and a ton of stuff going on.
The issue where they go into Jane's subconscious,
Oh
that would
my
be like
God.
a 6 issue arc these days, but it was and it's dense, like it's good. This is actually probably I should say one of my favorite trades of all time, which is why I recommended it.
It
Because
lacks,
there's so much in it.
Yeah, and I like the whole series, but this is my favorite one.
I feel like if the one shot for the Beard Hunter was also in it,
Yes.
it would be the ultimate comic.
I wish
The Beard
if
Hunter's
Danny
in
the
it.
Street was in here.
And
as
Danny
well.
the Street.
And Danny the Street.
So what do you guys like about it?
It's just all around fun wackiness. Like every character, even the throwaway villains are just so creative. Like the beat cop made of old love letters and flecks
Yeah.
of skin,
That was so
Yeah.
weird.
and the guy with that speaks in anagrams. The
Pale Man.
the pale police.
Pale Police.
Pale
yeah.
police.
Who memorized the fingerprints.
So incredible. So much in the comic and everything. There's nothing that like stands out as something that's just crap. Like there's
Like
awesome.
Yeah, the character who has every superpower you haven't thought of. That
That's
could have,
so cool.
That could have been an ongoing antagonist, but she's only in 4 issues or whatever.
She seems kind of erratic as a character, which
Yeah.
made it a lot of fun. The way
Yeah.
she moved around the picture, she would just like shoot off like some
Yeah.
sort of
Bullet.
like some sort of bullet that could zap you randomly.
And you know, like the
Germaphobe
whole
ghost.
introduction to her in an Sailor's Island being all like, it's everything's so dirty. And it's just like, whoa.
Who's the douchey Japanese hero again?
Sunspot?
Sunburst.
Oh yes.
Sunburst.
Yeah.
Sunspot's who's based on.
Yeah. Sunburst. Yeah.
I like even the most minor character in that is like so well done and so much fun.
So interesting.
Exactly. Like Sunburst is throwaway, but at the same time, I have distinct memories of him from the comic, and they're just great.
Yeah.
I do like that Mr. Nobody knows exactly what will help the quiz and bring her into the fold. It's just this
You just like,
He has
there
his
you go.
all-purpose suit.
I really enjoyed Mr. Nobody's backstory and like the entire like the Brotherhood of Dada. Like I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing.
It's classic Grant Morrison.
Yeah.
I mean, the abstract man thing and the way it came about and the way he plays, way he loves to play with just these vast concepts, binary duality, and a person who's a blank who can then be anything he wants. I've seen a lot of it before, but never in that way.
Yeah.
And-
And like the character that you can only see out of the corner of your eye.
A lot of fun.
That's true.
Yeah.
I do really want to talk about the first volume too, though, because it's really good. Like
good
the
I didn't read it.
imaginary characters that Dorothy creates were some of my favorites. Damn being pretty great. The newspaper suited, multi-eyed sewing man. wacky as crap.
with he's got like a weird mouth.
Yeah, he's got a big grinning smile. A lot of big grinning smiles.
It's definitely a group that cries out for some sort of counseling session to rein in all of the personalities that are within their heads that are clearly causing so much of the havoc. Was it Crazy Jane's Black Annis? Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah. Black Annis.
Annis, well, she basically is a manifestation of her fear of men, this sort of misandrous quality brought on by this terrible abuse that unfortunately comes in quite handy in certain battle situations, but is ultimately the result of tragedy.
Yeah, no.
I do enjoy the bond between her and Robot Man based on the fact that Robot Man is no longer really a man.
Yeah.
He's just kind of a brain in a dickless body.
Well, he's the most human character too,
Yeah.
and all he is a brain, pretty much. He's really certainly not the professor, being the person who's trying to hold everything together. The professor's he's pretty much the same as Hargreaves.
Yeah, the chief's sort of a douche.
Yeah.
What did you think, Matt?
I think Grant Morrison is an insane genius. I just love everything that comes up as crazy ass brain. It's awesome.
I want his drugs.
I want his drugs for 10 years.
Kids, we don't really need.
I mean,
no. I just want to be as creative as he is
He
naturally.
probably stopped doing acid sometime in the late 90s, around the Invisibles.
Then he started writing Batman, but it's still pretty great.
Yeah, I love the Batman, but it doesn't matter. I also like the language, obviously he has a lot of great ideas here, but the way he describes things in captions, it feels like lyrics to a song or something, or like poetry.
Yeah, and the way that each character has their own individual way of speaking, it's distinctly that character, and you don't just tell that by the font or where the bubble is going.
Although it does help, because they all have really crazy fonts.
The part where he quotes the English, or is it De Quincey? And he's up in the mountain with Coleridge. It reminded me of a bit from the Invisibles with Shelley, and he's done the referencing great English writers before, but again, it's a lot of stuff that I felt like I'd seen Morrison do, but just as well in this collection. Like I say, he seems very inspired by certain writers when he is describing particular scenes and certain art movements. I mean, that collection feels like a high school art class and poetry class rolled into one.
I like how they use dada to defeat the Angel of the Apocalypse.
That's amazing. And they're
Turn
just
him into a rockin'
it's
horse.
abstract.
I think my favorite part was when one of my favorite parts is when the fifth horseman, extinction or oblivion, or just the symbol of dread, is described as a pompous concept album cover. It's a rock album cover. Let's not pretend this thing has any greater meaning than it is. It's just a big scary metal guy on a horse.
What I always really enjoyed about Doom Patrol, just all around, is there's rarely a time where they solve a problem by punching it or doing what usual superheroes do. Every one of their battles is more like a riddle.
It feels really actually absurd when they're attacking the Hiroshima silhouettes.
Yeah.
They're punching them and stuff. And the Constantine character, Willoughby or whatever. Yeah. He's like, keep doing that. That's great. And I'm gonna go get drunk.
Willoughby is so good. It's just this mock-up of Hellblazer. That's just this. I think John described him as a pandering coward.
Condescending. Coward. You were using some of the words yourself to start describing him. And there's a lot of negative things that can be. He will sneak off, avoid danger, get drunk, and then make you feel stupid afterwards. And make you feel you got in his way. You figured everything out. You put yourself in peril. But ultimately, he took care of it.
Yeah, and he'll say, what took you so long?
And even if it didn't, then he'd be like, I could have done that.
He's great.
Yeah, I like the moment where the pale police come to him and he's just like, please, I have my mother has an iron lung and I think I have a cyst or something.
Yeah, he has asthma.
And he's crying and then
He's his mother's only link to society. Yeah, John Constantine would at least get his hands dirty. Oh, sure, his best friend might die in the process, but he'll have a hands-on approach.
He can get a new best friend next episode.
Exactly. Oh, poor Chaz.
Forever friendless. All right, so
Stuck with the art.
art.
Doom Patrol. 'Cause it's
Yeah, the art is really cool. Like, it's the thing is like whenever I read comics that are like published before like 1995, I can tell. You can tell
Yeah.
because of the colors, because of the print of paper.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good art considering it's like pretty old.
It is tremendous. What I find is great is I've read it many times.
Yeah.
And every time I read it, I always find something new. Like till recently, I didn't really appreciate how great Sleepwalk's costume is.
Yeah, with
Oh
the
my
little
gosh.
bench,
The bent shoulder pads and the silhouette faces
That's
over
so
her eyes.
cool.
and the Barry Manilow.
And the
head.
I love that line.
Yeah.
And she's got pajama pants.
Actually, yeah,
pajama
the
pants.
new thing I caught this
Crazy
time.
bike wheels on the back of friends.
Speaking of just music references, Mr. Nobody's collection of detritus and stuff that is
Yeah.
lost from society, the Bay City Rollers poster in the background, perfect.
Yeah, the thing I caught this time that I didn't before is that the thing that causes Crazy Jane to go into a coma or whatever is, her riding the horse, but just with the words dada being said in her head over and over again.
Oh,
Oh, nice. Yeah,
I
yeah.
did not
And
get
there's a
that.
shot of it with its dada, and she's like, oh God, and then
Did not
so
get
it was,
that.
That's awesome. Yeah. There's always something new to get from reading
Okay.
Doom Patrol.
The art for me is a bit like Dave Gibbons. It's very hard to get into right away, but when you start reading, you just realize how versatile, yeah, he is. And when he starts having to draw things like a character who looks like you're seeing him out of the corner of your eye, he totally nails it. And the shot of the horse coming out of the water is awesome.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, it's like I agree. It's like one of those things about older art. Like first when you open it up, you're a little shocked by it, but once you get into the story, the art really helps draw you in, and you're totally cool with it.
Yeah.
I felt like the city scene seemed kind of straightforward, nothing particularly special at first, but when it called for surreal touches like structures made of bone and unfinished cathedrals, that's when it really started to leap out at you.
Yeah, for sure.
Or anything else you guys want to say specifically about Doom Patrol?
I'll say one thing. I think it's because after this, after he finished, they later retconned it all out of existence.
Yeah.
And the only thing from this that I know of that lasted, like that endured, was the fact that Mala and the Brain were gay lovers. That's the only thing that stuck around.
That's true, yeah, because they got rid of Danny the Street, Crazy Jane. None of those things exist anymore.
They
doubled
They
and
started
exist
to
now
bring
because
them.
they
Yeah,
retconned
they
it
started
out
to
of
bring them
existence.
back, and then they
got rid of them.
everything. But yeah, the one thing that because before I knew anything, I knew that Mal and the Brain were lovers just from like The Outsiders or
Which is really funny.
Yeah,
This gay couple, one's a gun-toting monkey, the other one's a brain in a jar. That's awesome.
and together they're basically a loving representation of Cartesian duality.
Yeah.
What is that? I think what's so remarkable about this trade is that it really is about 2, 3, 4 issue arcs that are really dense, incredibly imaginative, and there's 2 standalone stories along with that. The Mala story and the Underground story, which just has so much going on. There's so much character interaction. There's a wonderful moment where you're in a part of Crazy Jane's psyche, but it's so horrible you can't see it. And Morrison has determined that, no, you can't see it, it's too horrible, but he hints at it. You only get to see it in 2 panels, and it's just a hint of this wreckage. It's just hidden away in the middle of the book. There's just so much going on, and
It is, yeah. There's so much going on, and one of my favorite parts is like when the painting actually eats Paris, and then the superheroes come and they're like, "So what do we do?" Well, Doom Patrol's in there. I'm pretty sure they got it covered. We don't really know what they're up to,
Let the
but
weird guys handle it.
it's really funny. I feel like the Doom Patrol of today is like Justice League Dark, but they're like so not as cool. So not as
They're
cool.
pretty cool, but they're not as cool. But they're pretty cool.
Well, then again, I really want to read Justice League Dark, but I'm waiting for the trade, so.
I'd say that the John Constantine from Justice League Dark is the closest I've seen to the the Kipling Willoughby.
Yeah.
From this.
New John Constantine's kind of a wiener.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, a little bit.
Ew.
It's when you take
Wiener.
away swearing from John Constantine, you kind of lose a lot of things.
everything. You might as well use the smoking. Actually, you might as well lose the blonde hair. You might as well give him a California surfer dude quality. Give him black hair. Make him a touchy-feely new age type. I don't think that's ever been done, though.
No, I don't think
Certainly
so.
couldn't make a movie.
No.
So okay, overall we really like Doom Patrol, I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doom Patrol kicks ass.
Did you guys like Umbrella Academy?
it was good. It's,
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like it was good and it had its moments and it was definitely fun in places. It's definitely hard to compete with Morrison, especially
Yeah.
when he's at the top of his game.
Yeah, I feel like in book club there's always a book you should read first,
Yeah.
so you don't get your expectations up
Yeah.
with the other book.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I felt like you had to read Umbrella Academy first and then read Doom Patrol, which is how I read it. So I really enjoyed both of them.
Yeah.
Umbrella Academy is better than most comic books today.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely in the top percentile of comics, but when you're going up against Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol, it's really hard, especially for me because I've grown up with this thing.
Yeah.
I love Doom Patrol so much.
But like as
As a standalone, if I read it by as itself, I'd say like an 8 out of 10 kind of comic. It's good, but it's not something that I'm going to, buy the trade of and frame or something like that. It's
do you frame your trades?
a little bit.
Well then.
No, I don't. But it would be something that I would read for a while and then maybe sell at BMV. Whereas Doom Patrol, I'm going to keep forever.
Yeah. Have it bronzed.
Exactly. I will.
Hard
I
to
will,
read, but-
I will pass Doom Patrol down to my children. I probably will never mention
Like-
Umbrella Academy again.
Pass it down to your grandchildren.
Be
And
like,
then they'll be weird.
on your 16th birthday, you've earned this.
You've earned Doom Patrol.
I'd probably
I'd
actually
go out there and take on the world.
You're 15 now. Here's the Invisibles, and here's the acid you can do. So,
Obviously, I liked Doom Patrol more than Umbrella Academy, but I think I'd recommend for first-time readers to start with Umbrella Academy. It's got a quicker pace to it. It's less dense, and it's more immediately fun. So I think this is a lot better, but it's kind of like read a basic Spider-Man story before you read The Dark Knight Returns or something like that. So that's kind of how I see this. It's also really cool to see how sort of this idea has evolved over the past, I guess, like 15 years in between the two.
Yeah.
And I want to see more of it, to be honest. And I don't think maybe Jeff Lemire could do something like it, but other than that,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Did I get your guys' opinions on Doom Patrol versus?
Yeah.
Did we go around?
Did we get
We did-
Matt's?
You, I think
You guys
we
I think you said everything that I was
We skipped
thinking.
Matt's.
So that's fine.
Thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. 3 if I had them.
This is Doom Patrol. This is Umbrella.
On a scale of 1.
So that's our book club panel for this month. If you have ideas for books we should read next month, just send me an email with the books. If you want to come in and be part of our panel and you live in Toronto or near Toronto, you can do it. Just send me an email, tdotcomics@gmail.com. It's cool, man. If I've never met you before, I'd love to meet you, man. Just send me an email. It's all good. Thanks so much for recommending these books and this awesome theme. It's really cool, and I really loved exploring this side of comics.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
Thanks for coming, guys. Let's applaud out.
All right.
Cool.
Hi guys, it's Matt with your news for this week. Some sad news to start off, actually. Berenstein Bears co-creator Jan Berenstein passed away last Friday, unfortunately. Her husband Stan passed away in 2005, and the Berenstein series itself was actually included over 300 books and has sold about 260 million copies worldwide. I know I grew up with these guys, so that's a big, huge thing. When as far as animated TV shows, they were in museum exhibits and there was stage production, so it's quite the legacy. Way to go. Rest in peace. And also some lighter news out of Archie Comics. It's important. The American Family Association, a conservative Christian, that's really all I need to say about that organization. Anyways, they asked members to email Toys R Us asking to remove Life with Archie number 16, wherein Kevin Keller marries some dude with goatee. Anyways, Christian dorkbag site introducing overly complicated topics to children at too young an age. So, whatever. Anyways, Archie CEO John Goldwater responded like a boss, saying Kevin Keller will forever be a part of Riverdale, and he will live a happy, long life free of prejudice, hate, and narrow-minded peoples. Bazang. There you go. So, awesome. And we got some news from the Image Expo. The first annual expo was this past weekend. Awesome. Jim Valentino's Shadowline imprint, which created Morning Glories and Green Wake, has announced a few new titles for 2012. First off, we have Enormous, which is humans fighting enormous big-ass beasts. Awesome. Can't be bad. Well, it could be, but... we got Debris, which is The World's Gone to Shit. Crap, sorry. And Ghosts Dressed in Garbage Kill People. They kind of just graft junk and walk around being crazy. Anyways, Warrior Woman becomes Kevin Costner in Waterworld, except without the gills. And she fights him. Harvest. We have organ traffickers getting one-upped by Ben Keller, a medical Robin Hood, reclaiming organs, not giving a crap. Awesome. And finally, from Dark Horse, we have one of Dark Horse's greatest heroines returning in June's Dark Horse Presents number 13. It's written by Kelly Sue DeConnick and illustrated by Phil Noto. It's Ghost, the avenging spirit of a murdered journalist. Hey. So 1993's Ghost was one of the greatest world imprint's most lasting successes, remaining a regular part of Dark Horse's lineup until 1998, and it's coming back. Should be sweet. That's your news for this week.
Hey, nobody. You ready for our events? Here are your upcoming events in Toronto and surrounding area. Let's start Sunday. Oh, wait, I skipped a gun. Thursday, which actually is before the show airs. But Thursday, March 1st to 4th, The Artist Project is holding an exhibition, which is a ton of art. Is being curated in this one building, Queen Elizabeth Building, an exhibition place. It should be really cool. Check it out if you're into art. Not so much of a nerdy thing, but an artsy thing, which falls under nerdy stuff. Sunday, March 4th, Silver Snail is doing this learn how to game series on Sunday, and this Sunday they're doing Dominion. Holla! Dominion is one of my favorite card games, and you guys should learn how to play it so you can play it together. So it's at the Silver Snail, which is 367 Queen Street West, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And it's gonna be awesome. Sunday, March the 4th. Be there and learn how to play Dominion. What? Okay, Monday, March 5th, from 7 to 10, The Undrawn is having their fundraiser launch party. So what I hear is it's like a superhero comedy series, and at this fundraiser event, you're going to get a sneak peek at the characters and some really cool stuff. So check that out. It's going to be at the projection booth, which is at 1035 Gerrard Street East, and it's going to be pretty cool. Check it out. Why not? You don't do anything Monday anyway. Who does stuff on Monday? Reallys. Dave, you don't count. You're behind the camera. They can't see you. Sorry. Tuesday, March 6th, the unofficial Mass Effect 3 launch party. This superfan, Hillary Craig, put together this party at 370 Queens Quay West in the party room. They're going to have Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, and you can go there and play the games with all these awesome Toronto fans from 6 p.m. to midnight. So you got to RSVP for that, so find the event online. If you can't find it, send me an email. I will help you. It's also on the Comix calendar, so there you go. And yeah, those are your events in Toronto for this week. It's springtime, so we got lots of conventions coming up, so it should get way more busy. So looking forward to that.
Hey guys, it's Matt again with your weekly releases. Coming out of Boom Studios, we have Key of Z Volume 1 trade, or Key of Z in the Native American pronunciation. And from Dark Horse, we have Gantz Volume 21 trade, and Gate 7 Volume 2. That's the second trade in the Dark Horse lineup. Wait, what? I don't know. There's so many numbers. DC, we've got Justice League of America Archives, Volume 10, hardcover. That's a hell of a lot of archives. And from Image, we have Samurai's Blood, Volume 1. That just sounds awesome. Samurai's Blood. Produced by Takashi Miike. Awesome. No, that was a lie. That was a lie. Marvel has most of this week's releases. We've got Carnage, Family Feud trade. We got Fear Itself, Herc, hardcover. Another Fear Itself. We had one last week also, if you'll remember. We've got Invincible Iron Man, Volume 8 trade. Still Invincible, still Iron Man. We have Future Foundation, Volume 1 trade. And Punisher, Volume 1 hardcover. The Ultimates, Volume 1 also hardcover. Awesome. And Uncanny X-Force, it's written like farce. Nice handwriting, Dave. Volume 3, hardcover. Awesome. And finally, we have X-Men Prelude to Schism trade paperback. That's it for your releases this week. Have fun.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Quintessential Comics, the Surrealist edition. We'll see you next week. We got a great guest coming up. Fridays, lunchtime, like every week. Thanks so much for watching. Hashtag QCX on Twitter. Have a nice week, guys. Hey, you might be wondering, what? The episode just ended. Why are you back here? Well, I'm telling you the ways you can support Quintessential Comics online. If you care to, please do check out our various sites and like and or comment on these videos and or other stuff I do. Firstly, check out Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, YouTube, or the website. Thanks for your support. Love ya!